Okie dokie. So,
נשמת
לעילוי נשמת.
נינה נכדם בת יוכבד,
נינה נקדם בת יוכבד.
משה בת...
משה בן.
משה בן... Хайрден говорил, בלה ברכה בת תומר.
בלה ברכה. בת תומר.
משה בן זולאי.
משה בן זולאי. רוח השם, תנחם ותנחם בעזרת השם. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's do this. Patience and tolerance. Patience and tolerance, probably one of the most important things that we have to learn is to be patient and to be tolerant. Tolerant means to be able to hold and be accepting of what's coming to you. Yeah, there's something that people say. I have a very big pain tolerance, which means they're in pain and they can take it. They don't take medicine. You know, they don't take medicine.
I'm like that.
Balid, you know, it hurts. They don't take medicine. So it says, the Torah states like this. It says, Vayishkaf et bilha pilegesh aviv. Wow, look at that. I just opened it and that was our parsha, no? No, that was the parsha before. That was our parsha. Bilha, when he slept with, it says slept with Bilha, remember? Reuven. Huh? That was last parasha. Not this parasha? Mamash, I was, meaning this last parasha? Saturday. Yeah. So I'm saying, yeah. When Rachel died, Rachel died, he switched the breads or whatever. Reuven went to lay with Bilha. Mamash, you see, it says that we're learning good. Whenever our subject comes up, it says we're learning good. With his father's concubine. And our sages explain that, what did this mean that when Yaakov moved his bed from Rachel's tent to Bilha's after Rachel's death, Reuven defended the honor of his mother Leah by moving Yaakov's bed to her tent. Right. Before his death, Yaakov chastised Reuben for his act with the words of Pachaz kamayim al totar. He says, water like impetuosity, you cannot be foremost. What does that mean? Rashi comments that because of Reuven's hasty, impulsive actions, when he hastened to indicate his anger, he did not merit what he would otherwise have warranted as the firstborn. So we see here that we must be very careful not to act in haste, even out of righteous indignation, meaning even when it's something good, you cannot do it out of haste. You have to first think about it. For then we are liable to err and chas from sin. If we do something without thinking, we might make a mistake, even though it's something good, and we might come to sin. Yeah, it says over here, rather, we should calm ourselves down and contemplate the matter well before we take action. A lot of times people, they want to do tshuva, yeah? What they do tshuva out of haste, which means haste, fast. Oh, I'm gonna, so I'm not gonna watch TV, I'm not gonna do this, they take so much upon themselves that what happens? They fall fast right away. Yeah, things have to be always done with. Yeah, whenever you're buying something, investment, this and that. I don't know. My thing is, I have to think about it. People in the retail business, it's all about this concept. They want you to do it now. Oh yeah, come on, buy it now. It's good. Yeah. If you're not buying, it's gonna lose. You're gonna. I lose. Yeah. Why? Because they want you to make a decision from haste, from fastness, from quickness. Relax. I'm the type of guy where I like to think about it. I see it's a good deal, 100%. I know I'm gonna buy it, but Bezat Hashem tomorrow, No. Like I know I want to buy a car. I know I want to buy this car. I'll go and get the information. Let's do it. I said no. Let me think about it. There's always some sort of a calculation that eventually, you can calm yourself down. A lot of times when it comes to our children, our wives, our brothers, we act too fast, and we get into a little bit of it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy. We have to be able to slow down and be patient. Yeah, he says, unfortunately, people often take swift actions against others out of righteous zeal, and although they believe they're acting for the sake of heaven, their haste prevents them from thinking the matter through carefully, which makes it likely that they will err in their judgment and possibly cause egregious harm, which means a lot of times person talks in shul or whatever, right? Let's say he's not a constantly. Yeah, he came, whatever. And what do? We out of haste, yeah. What happens? We think we're doing L'Shem Shemayim. How can you talk in shul? This and that. But what could happen is you could offend that person so much, and he could be a newcomer. And what happens? He throws the religion completely. He's like, this is religion? I don't want to be religious. Here. Now, what did the person do wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. He wanted to quiet the guy down, but he did it in hastily fashion. He did it not in a proper manner, and therefore he offended somebody. Yeah? Before taking action out of feeling of righteousness and indignation, a person should ask himself whether he would be as quick to embark on his course of action if he personally would suffer a major loss as a result. Oh, he says, whenever you do actions, you think like this. If I'm going to do that, and there's a risk of me losing money, would I do that? You hear? Meaning, a человек должен немножко подумать of what his action is going to create. Perhaps he would think the matter through more carefully. Perhaps he would consult with a wise person first. If that is the case, then before taking another person's fate into his hands, he should perform his due diligence to ensure that this course of action is correct. Somehow we have to teach ourselves that there should be like a moment of thinking, like in driving in a car or whatever, or when your wife asks you something, when your children say something. It has to be.
Every second. This is not the moment.
Yeah.
Every second you have a test.
Correct. So, but we have to. Each and every individual has to sort of make in himself this thing where he can at least for a couple of minutes think about something. Yeah. Yesterday, somebody told me a situation that happened where I don't know, some guy beat another guy up, young boys, and the father, right, of one of the boys who was hitting the boy. He was arguing. The father was arguing with his own boy that why do you fight and this and that, whatever. So another kid over here, who happens to be his cousin, in order for the father not to argue with the son, he said, "Leave him alone. I did it. He says, "Oh, you did it? Bah!" This father is not his son. He hit this boy, who's not his son, and he got really upset. Yeah, this kid, and he was a big kid. Now he could have knocked him out, But thank God he stopped himself, But he, the one who hit him, should have thought about it. I mean, we act a lot with our hands, and that's not a good thing because it could bring us to a lot of problems, I mean, this boy didn't take it lightly. He took it like, oh, you smacked me in front. There was people there, yeah. So he says we have to relax and think about our actions to see what is that gonna lead to? Chas v'shalom, it could lead to, a person going off the derech completely. Sometimes we say things that apparently it affects a person very seriously and we don't even know it. You hear? So therefore it says, once students of Rav Shmuel Berdubam reported to him that a certain bachur in the yeshiva was not behaving properly, and they recommended that he be expelled. Agitated, Rav Shmuel asked them, "Have you fasted 40 days before coming to me?" Parenthetically, Rav Shmuel went out of his way to be mekaver the boy, and he quickly improved his ways. You hear? People came, they said, "Oh, you see this kid? Actually, our situation, he did this and this." So they wanted him to expel him, get him in. So he said, "Listen, before you came to tell me this, did you fast for 40 days? Meaning, before you come and speaking about somebody else." He ended up talking nicely to the boy and he got him to do tshuva. A person has to show patience and forbearance and not be exacting with others. Our sages say in Yoma, those who suffer insult but do not insult in response, who hear their disgrace but do not reply, who perform Hashem's will out of love and are happy even in suffering. Regarding them, the verse states, Ve'ohavav ketzat hashemesh bigvurato. Yeah, he says, but they who love him shall be as the sun going forth in its might. Here it says, he says, if you get insulted, what's the proper thing to do? Insult back. Yeah? If you get disrespected, disrespect back. He says, whoever holds off and doesn't do that, on him Hashem says, you are the love, meaning you love me. He said, but they who love him shall be as the sun going forth and it's at its might. Meaning, Hashem loves this type of person because he held himself. And you know, to hold yourself, it's not easy. A lot of people think that, ya mujik, I'm a man. You know why? Because if you say something to me, I'm gonna rip you up. No. The mujik is the man who you're gonna say something to, and he's gonna be as if you didn't say anything. You know, and if you see, I mean, this is a very bad example, but if you see like the mafia bosses, right? They sit there and somebody will come and they'll disgrace him. He's calm, he doesn't even twitch. Later on, he's gonna kill him. And later on, he's gonna get rid of him, you know? But the reaction is what? Is calm and collected. He's like, you're gonna talk to me like that? No problem. Yeah, but what I'm saying, we have to act on the first part, but not on the second part. On the first part, to be as cool and calm and collected as this mafia guy, you know? And they don't twitch. Why? Because if they show that they twitch, it's showing it's not showing your manlyhood. And the same thing with us. We should know that when we react, it's not showing our manlyhood. It's not. We think it's showing our manlyhood, but it's not. When a person is reserved and when he's reserved and he hears this thing, you know, and let's say his wife is grueling him, let's say his partner is whatever, let's say a customer is whatever, and he's just listening to it and he's not overreacting, that's a real man. Why? Because it shows that you are in control of your emotions. Because what is the trigger? It's our emotional it's our emotional exactly. So but I'm saying it's because you cannot control your emotions. You understand? So it's very hard, by the way. I mean, I'm one of those who's part of this that reacts fast. You know, in truth, the insulted person is actually the luckier one. Although on the surface it seems as though the person who insulted him has the upper hand, the reality is the reverse. The insulted person merits that his sins are atoned for. And he also merits exceptional success in this world, as the Chidah writes. He says, the person who insulted him, on the other hand, not only faces punishment in the world to come, but he does not experience joy in the world to come either. A person who insults others is clearly unhappy with his own life, which is why he projects his own pain and anger towards the other person. You hear? Such a person truly deserves to be pitied, and viewing him as a piteous creature is a key strategy in not taking his hurtful words to heart. You hear what he say? He says, the person that embarrasses you, he himself he's miserable. And that's why he's saying bad words to you. He says that kind of person, you got to look at him as you know, when a wacko comes, what do? We say, no, don't listen to him, right? Everybody, sometimes we have wackos that come here. What do? He's like, don't listen to him. Yeah? He says the same thing. When a person comes to assault you, don't listen to him. In your heart, Nabarot, you say that everything should be okay with him. Why? Because he says he's not a healthy person. This person is not a healthy person.
Something bothers him.
Exactly. But even more so, he's so depressed inside, so ugly, so this, that he wants to reflect that towards you. And therefore, why are you getting upset?
Do you think it's better to listen to him or just to hold the action?
So he says,
Because he's going to get a treatment.
again, you don't, probably, yeah.
If you don't listen to all
But you have to understand. He's talking about a guy who comes, Allah, you this, that. He's degrading you. So how are you going to listen to a person like that? It takes a toll on you.
understand that the person is sick.
Yeah, but it takes a toll on you.
Degrade.
Sometimes this sick person comes in a body and face of a normal person, like a wife,
Yeah.
like a husband. You know, listen, if your wife was not normal, believe me, you would not be upset at her. But the problem is, you look, or a husband, right? By the way, you're looking at her, and she looks beautiful, normal. You know, she talks, she's intelligent, but yet things coming out of her mouth that you don't understand. So he says, this is a sick person. This person in your heart, you're supposed to say, "Refuah Shlema, Hashem Shila Ma'alo L'Sayinai El Harim Me'ayne V'Ozri." Yeah.
But I think we have to listen to this.
Yeah, of course, absolutely, absolutely. If you can, you could. Yeah. He says like this. He says, a person who shows patience and forbearance will also win the respect of his family, his friends, and all the other people around him. Whereas people who are unforgiving and constantly upset are disliked and disrespected even by their family and friends. And he's 100% right. Imagine everybody that's spilchery, everybody that's you know, if you say something, he's like, what's good? Believe me, people around him, they don't think too fond of him. Now, but when a person is calm and they think, wow, this guy, how does he do it? How does he hold himself so so dignified? Yeah. He said, a person who interacts angrily and harshly with his family and others thinks that in this way he's gaining control over them. But in reality, he will ultimately lose their respect and destroy his relationship with them. They will not place their trust in him, but will do things behind his back, while he will be fooled into thinking he's in control. Many times, parents that are like this, they lose their kids. Why? They think, I got him on control, I got her under control. No. She's doing things in the back of your head. She's doing crazy things in the back of your head. He's doing things why? Because you are such a tyrant that they're like, I can't share with him things. He screams at me, he's what? So I'm going to do it behind his back. What, you can be in control of anybody 24 hours? No. Yeah. I was recently discussing something with an older woman, yeah? And I was telling her, I said, nowadays, it's very hard to keep the children, holy. Meaning they sleep around, this and that, right? You got to be careful. You got to be open with that. So she's, no. Moy Arkasha, she calls her son Arkasha. Ongulal, he used to go on out with his current wife, for 3 years. Yagur, after the 3rd month, 100% they were doing things. She goes, Daniel, what are you talking about? Come on. Yaguru, Yaguru, you out of your mind. 3 years they're gonna go out. What are they gonna go watch movies and this and that? This guy. Then she tells me, when are they gonna do it? I go to, all you need is half an hour. You go to, any place during the day, because she's thinking at night they were always home. What, things are done at night? This thing is done anytime. When I was in Pizza Palace, and I used to open 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. I used to see, boy and girl, 6, 7:30 in the morning coming to me, coming out of the car. I'm thinking, 100%. No, not all the night. He picks her up in the morning. Mom, I'm going to school. Whatever it has to do. Yeah, before the school. So, Baruch Hashem, this couple is married actually now. Interestingly.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I used to run.
Anna, you see? Yeah. For this thing, there is no time. There is meaning I was telling her why I brought up the situation, because I was telling her, by the religious people, 2 months, boom, you're out. You got to get married. And she's like, no, why? They get to know each other. Yeah, they get to know everything about each other. There's nothing, petach patur, there's nothing to get to know after marriage, because 3 years ago, and she was like, no, ni moy arkasha. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. So he says, with this in mind, yeah, that he will fool him. With this in mind, we understand what the sages were teaching us. It says that an angry person comes away with nothing but anger. The angry person loses that which is precious to him, and all he is left with is anger. Angry person, he has no friends, believe me. He thinks he has friends, yeah? Even the wife and this and that, they're nice to him. Why? Because they know he's angry. He's a crazy guy. So he says, an angry person has nothing. only his anger. Yeah? He thinks, his mother, his father, his children, his wife, everybody is his friend. Why? Because he's there. We know people like that, unfortunately. There are people like that, They live in this world of Tewonegi, where people are nice to him because they know he's whacked. Yeah? Not clinically, but he's whacked. Someone who does not insist on being honored and having his wishes fulfilled is actually far more likely to get what he wants than a person who stands on ceremony and demands that he desires, for things. You hear what he's saying?
Desire
For yes,
something.
yeah. There's people, they want these, they want that, they want these. Says this kind of person, he's not going to get anything. Nobody wants to do anything for him. A person who doesn't want it, he's no. I'm good. Don't do that. Says people want to do something for him. You hear? Like they want to, do him a favor. Listen, maybe I should drive you. And other people who want to be driven, who want to be.
Same thing, the band, they give you money when they run you.
Yeah.
You don't need the money.
Yeah, every day.
They give you.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
They give you.
Yeah.
But when you need them,
It's funny you say that in the jewelry business too. They can come to me. Listen, we want to give you credit. I say, I don't need credit. I have 2,000, I'll buy 2,000. I have 500, I buy 500. I have 10,000. No, take. A person who needs jewelry and credit. No, we don't give. Why? It's the same concept. This one that's saying, no, I don't need credit. He says, no, I work like that. The other guy that wants, so they're afraid of him. They think, no, he's gonna take and not pay. This one is saying, no, I don't need credit. They're like, no, he's gonna pay. Why? He's saying I don't need credit. You hear? Yeah, indeed. On the verse in Mishlei, he says, Kol yemei ani ra'im. All the days of a pauper are bad. The Gemara comments in Baba Batra, what we just finished recently, says that this refers to one who is mean-spirited, meaning, as Rashi explains, that he is stingy and short-tempered and begrudges what he has and what others have. Yeah, meaning everything on stingy. He doesn't like to spend money, and on everything everybody has, he's like, oh, look at this guy this guy that, this guy this. He says this kind of person, he's a bedni, and he's a bad person, pauper, and he's bad. On the other hand, the Gemara says at the end of that verse, "Vetov lev mishte tamid." But he who is of good heart has a continual feast. Refers to one who is of generous spirit. Everything is always okay, and he's always happy. He's always feasting. He's always everything is in abundance. Sigdam noga, right? The person who's gniloi, right? We know these people. Rich people, Ibi, they act like poor people. I don't understand this.
rich people.
If you say
They
this,
talk about.
that the way you said it before, right? That the ani is bad person, right?
No, ani like this. Ani meaning he's not poor. He's not poor. He has money, but what is that? He has more. He has this. He has that.
But before you said person is ani, right? It's
Yeah.
ani because it's bad.
Yeah.
Now, if if he has the money, but he's still ani, makes him feel like why? How come I should give him the money?
The how come? Leave that. That's a test. That's a test for him.
Yeah, but he acts anyway like ani.
Yes, you're right. Why? But he doesn't act like ani because he's ani.
On credit,
His character makes him an ani. You hear? His character makes him an ani. He's got money, but he's so как se сказать, жмот.
Почему?
That's his character.
Даже они, которые, то есть, у меня нету, правильно? Он они.
Yes.
Он плохой человек.
Yes. No, he's talking about he has. He has.
Ты говоришь, что у него есть.
No. When they said ani means in quotes. He's like a person who doesn't have,
Missing
even though he has.
Yeah,
He's rich. He's rich,
But still,
but he acts like a poor guy.
Но он в душе нищий.
Like-
он нищий, душе.
Like came to me
понимаешь?
certain.
Это вопрос, если он такой человек, значит у него что-то плохое у него есть.
Yeah.
А почему тот, который ничего совсем нет, он плохой, ему понятно, что не дал ничего.
No, at the one who doesn't have, since he's so happy and he doesn't care what he has and what he has, he's a rich guy.
This
You hear?
I understand, this is a rich guy.
Yes, he's a rich guy, but he doesn't have money.
Right.
But he's
other
rich.
guy, even doesn't have the money.
He has money. No. He has
He
money.
has money.
He has money, and he's like a poor guy. Why? You know, there's mamash. My brother knew an old couple, Ibi. They were living in a house that was about $2 million. They used to be back in the days in the jewelry business. Their bank account probably, the box is probably full. They would not have food. He would bring him food to eat. He would bring him food to eat on a weekly basis. You hear? And everybody around them was waiting for them to die. Because they didn't have relatives. Yeah, they didn't have relatives. His backdoor neighbor, yeah, was telling, listen, let me put your house on my name. Let me this, that, meaning to the point that at the end, my brother was the one who was giving. When he died, he didn't even know what happened. He doesn't even know what happened to the house, what happened to the this, They ended up dying, this old couple. But rich, but poor. Living like it. Used to bring him bread for Shabbat and bring him, food from errands, from this, from that. How do you live like that? You hear? Listen. You know what's their problem? They have so much money that they think that take a maid, get a person, pay them $1,000 a week, let them take care of you.
Avram, my father used to always give us blessing.
Yeah.
May you also have a zechut to eat.
100%.
Because some people used to be every night you sure.
To eat over there.
Every night you sure.
Why? Because to eat there, yeah?
But his father said you should be able to eat
Every night.
whatever.
Why? And this is a big concept that he said. Here, his father said that not only should Hashem give you riches, but you should have the zechut to eat the riches. And unfortunately, many people leave it to the government. Here, if you don't have any close relatives that whatever, the government takes the money. The government takes the
The
money.
government leads on this. They take a lot of properties.
Yeah.
The government-
Here, one lady came to me. I think I told you guys. The aunt had nobody. Husband died. He was the one who invented the toilet roll. He was the inventor of the toilet roll. EB. She left these whatever nieces. Yeah. Property right now worth $17 million in Kiryat Yoel. $17 million property. Left gold, diamonds, pyramids to who? To nobody. These people are her, nieces, nephews. Who knows how she lived? You don't know how she lived, But she was saying she was very takaya, lived like not poor, but not in a takoy. Yeah. So he said, his father said the right thing. We have to have zuchut to be able to be. A lot of people, they don't make a lot of money, but they live very rich. That people think they're very rich. Why? Because they just have that rich personality. You hear? And then there's people who are very rich, but you look at them, you mamash think they're poor people. They walk like poor
We have one
people.
homeless guy here. He has 4 houses so far. I calculate because he give only me job. He knows I'm not the like.
He live like Oni.
Well, they give him stuff. Tzedakah from here. They give him food.
That's
They used
crazy.
to live in a basement, somebody's houses.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. That's mamash crazy.